Hello, today we have a look at how nutrition takes place in humans. We will take a close look at the digestive system and the processes involved in it. First of all, if you look at the diagram, we'll start off with the mouth or the buccal cavity where ingestion or food is taken in. The stomach, which is responsible for digestion, which is the process by which food is broken down, and then the small and the large intestine, which are responsible for absorption. The blood vessels are responsible in assimilation for the transport of food, and the waste material that is ejected is the responsibility of the rectum and the anus. Here is a representation of how digestion takes place. Ingestion, where food is chewed; digestion, where food is broken down; absorption, where food is absorbed; assimilation, how food is transported; and of course, ingestion. Let's take a look at the digestive system. We know that nutrition in animals or humans, as a matter of fact, takes place only through the digestive system. Digestive system is different in different animals. It comprises of the alimentary canal and other associated organs. The organs are the mouth, the esophagus or the food pipe as it's known, the stomach, small intestine and large intestine. Certain glands are associated within the digestive system, and these are the salivary glands, the liver and the pancreas, which have their own purpose to serve within the system. The alimentary canal starts at the mouth and ends at the anus and is a tube that is 9 meters in length. This has various ducts and glands that open into the alimentary canal and pour out their secretions into it. Let's have a look at the processes involved in digestion. Ingestion, we know, begins from the mouth or the buccal cavity, where we actually chew food before swallowing it. This continues further on to digestion, which actually begins in the mouth. The mouth comprises of teeth, tongue, and salivary glands. The teeth, which are 4 different kinds, which we'll have a look at later, are used to tear up the food into small pieces to make chewing easier. Salivary glands secrete an enzyme called a salivary amylase. An enzyme is nothing but a catalyst that helps to speed up the reaction of a change for a process to take place. The salivary amylase, which is the enzyme, breaks down the starch that is present in the food into sugar. The tongue, with the secretion of saliva from the salivary gland, mix the food together into a ball called a bolus. This bolus then, with the help of the tongue, is swallowed and goes down the food pipe, which is carried into the stomach. This process of carrying the food through the food pipe into the stomach takes by the help of contractions and expansions of the food pipe through a motion called peristalsis. The stomach has 2 openings: the cardiac sphincter, which is a flap-like structure that opens when food from the esophagus enters into the stomach, and a pyloric sphincter, which remains closed and is attached to the small intestine. This remains closed till the time the food is digested in the stomach, and at intervals it opens to let out the undigested food into the intestine. Once the food is in the stomach, it is digested and acted upon by gastric juice. This is secreted by glands in the walls of the stomach. Gastric juice contains substances like hydrochloric acid and the enzymes pepsin and mucus. Due to the presence of hydrochloric acid, the enzyme pepsin acts on the proteins and breaks them down into simpler molecules. The mucus is responsible for coating the inner lining of the stomach and acts as a barrier to help protect the stomach from damage. As a result, if not present, the hydrochloric acid would damage the inner linings, and this could result in the secretion of excess hydrochloric acid that would form ulcers. Now that the food is partially digested within the stomach, it enters the small intestine. The small intestine is responsible for the complete digestion of food like carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. The small intestine receives secretions from two very important glands, mainly the liver and the pancreas. The liver is the largest organ in the human body. It produces and secretes a greenish yellow substance called bile. This is stored in the gallbladder. The bile is alkaline in nature and helps to emulsify, or as we could say, break down fats called lipids that are present in any food that we eat. Any acidic food coming into the intestine is now acted upon the bile juice and made alkaline and more soluble. This enables the pancreatic enzymes to make it easier for them to act upon it. The pancreas secrete pancreatic juice, which contains the digestive enzymes pancreatic amylase, trypsin, and lipase. Amylase breaks down starch in carbohydrates. Trypsin digests proteins, and lipase breaks down emulsified fats. The walls of the small intestine secrete an intestinal juice that contains a number of enzymes that complete the digestion of complex carbohydrates into glucose, proteins into amino acids, and fats into fatty acids and glycerol. These broken down and digested substances are water soluble and are easily absorbed into the body. The absorption takes place through the small and the large intestine also, and then the absorbed food is now carried and distributed to all the parts of the body. Let's take a look at what happens to food after it leaves the stomach. Here, within the small intestine, absorption takes place. Within the small intestine are small, tiny, projection-like, finger-like structures called villi. These villi are connected to millions of blood capillaries which take the food from the villi and transport it to all the different parts of the body or to the body cells. After absorption has taken place, assimilation comes in. This is when the digested food is carried by the blood and it is disposed of in all the different parts of the cells of the body. This assimilated food is now used as energy by the body for growth and repair. The digested food that is not utilized is stored as glycogen and used at a later stage when required by the body. Unwanted food that is not required within the body passes on to the large intestine. Here, the unwanted food now is extracted in the sense that the large intestine absorbs all the water from it, hence making the food now or turning it into a solid form. This solid form, stored as waste, is put in the rectum and at intervals is expelled from the body via the anus. Ingestion is also termed as defecation. Let's look at the structures that are responsible, that enable us to tear, chew, and bite. Yes, we are referring to the tooth. Tooth is a structure that is attached to the gum. Its outermost part is called the enamel and is the strongest structure or the hardest part in our body. Below this part is another structure called the dentine or the dentine, and inside it is a pulp cavity that is made up of nerves and blood vessels. The nerves help carry impulses to the blood, to the brain, whereas the blood vessels transport food. When a hole is formed in the dentine due to acid-forming bacteria and improper dental care, we feel pain anytime we eat anything hot or cold. The nerves responsible for feeling this pain relay the impulse to the brain. If the hole in the cavity is not filled, it can cause inflammation and infection that can lead to the tooth to decaying, and as a result would have to be extracted or removed. There are 4 types of teeth in general. Those that are used for cutting and tearing food material are referred to as canines and incisors. Premolars and molars are the other 2 types and are used for chewing and grinding. We all know that it is important for us to maintain our teeth. By brushing, flossing and rinsing our teeth after eating food helps to remove the food that is stuck in between them. This also in turn prevents bacteria from turning them yellow, and if not, it ends up forming bacterial cells, and this feature is known as a dental plaque. Note: always brush, floss and rinse your teeth daily. It will save you a visit or a number of visits to your dentist. I hope you have enjoyed the presentations. If you'd like to see more presentations, you can always visit us on our website at www.arrangeacademy.com. Furthermore, for a subscription, you could always check us out on Facebook at www.facebook.com/arrangeacademy. You can subscribe to us also on our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/c/arrangeacademy. Thank you.